You win. I was really confused for a second because I was like, I hear my intro music, and then I realized that I had Twitch up in another window. So, yeah. Give it a couple minutes here, let people come swarm, you know? Alright, the official Twitch title looks good, and I fixed my screen earlier. So, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what they do with stream titles. They like push them periodically or something, but I don't know. I double checked on the site. It looks good. Give it another minute or two. Woo, there we go. How's everybody doing tonight? Good evening. Welcome to the Mattyzcast. I'm Matty Zed. Let us, here, hang on. Let me, go for the ASMR with the beer open. Hang on. That actually ended up sounding really good. What's up, gang? Throwbacks. I like that movie. I like the OG Street Fighter movie. I think it was good and fun. And it had Raul Julia just chewing scenery the whole time. I mean, come on. Wasn't that his last movie? I think it was. Let's find out. Yes, it was. And he actually died before it came out. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. We should get on SyncTube or whatever the hell it's called these days. PSP TV and watch Street Fighter some night. Or not, but you can go Netflix it because it's a good film. I don't even know what we're going to do tonight, which is Sometimes those are the best nights. So I'm excited. Kind of move my mic a little bit. There we go. Good old Windows 10 right there. All my icons. 2 screens worth. And a bunch of rolling papers. Whoop. Can't get my mic in a happy spot. That seems pretty good. Let me see here. Is that a little bit better? A little bit hotter? Hopefully. Give it a couple more dB on the compressor there. There we go. That seems to be firing off a little bit better. Groovy. All right. Let's see. Project status. Chat about, let's see. We got the antenna rotator control box in. I did get a couple more things for that. Actually, just one. Well, a pack of them. These little guys. I had to order these from Mouser. They are non-polarized electrolytic capacitors. 330 UF, 50 volts. But we need these to send electricity to the rotator motors. So I got 4. I only need 2 because always order double quantities of stuff like that because it's such a pain in the ass to mail order things. Oh wow, it actually tried to URL that. Nice. Man, now I want a .dll tuple domain. Is there one? No. Oh man. That would be pretty fun. That'd be pretty cool. Got my work sticker. Please do not actually ask me about VCL on the stream. I had to speak with our law department because this is technically, legally, officially a second job. And they just ask that we let people know about it. And they'll hit me back if they think there's a conflict. But I don't think making $40 a month off Twitch is going to really set them off. But if they do put up a fit and they say you can't have another job, then I'm going to demonetize this, shut it down, and make it a free thing once again. Shut down my affiliate. I'm going to keep streaming. I just won't do it for money. Because, yeah, I don't think there's going to be any problems. But if there are, I'm going to keep with y'all. Wow, that's some pretty amazing security on the TLEs. I tried to get. I used to have a .in domain because that's the last 2 letters of my last name. So I just had my last name with .in, and I tried to renew it, and they like shut me down because I wasn't an Indian citizen or business or something like that. Which I understand kind of, but I know like France is really tight about that stuff. Yeah, I could probably go 501c3 if I wanted to file the paperwork and all that. I could also just set up a Patreon, I think, and just take donations from people in general and not tie it to the stream, I think. Fire up the radios for a little bit. Let's see what's on the air. if anything. There's been a whole bunch of noise lately. Let's see here. Oh, I gotta fix a thing. FL Digi is actually reading my voice. Sorry, I can't whistle Morse code. I actually can't whistle. There it is. Bring it in a little bit. Don't think there's anything really gonna be on. Nope, there we go. That's the right one. Okay. Yeah, I am actually Grildos. So yeah, the shortwave bands are extremely shitty right now. Lame. We're gonna try again later, but there's a really big lightning storm down around Texas, New Orleans, that kind of neighborhood. So it's actually not even super worth messing with shortwave right now. Where's my monitor here? Yeah, all that lightning is coming right over to me right here. I hear it super loud, which kind of sucks. Um, Anyways, let's talk about satellite antennas for a little bit. That's cool. I dig that. Um, what am I looking at here? There's a couple of options. Look at DX Engineering first. Sorry, I gotta tweak the noise gate just a little bit. So here's the antennas that I'm looking at throwing up. There's a couple of options. I probably wouldn't buy from DX Engineering. I might. They're a very good company. Interestingly enough, they're run by the same guy that runs Summit Racing. To the fact that I think they're in the same warehouse. He really likes ham radio and car repair and hot rods and stuff. So yeah, when you buy from Summit Racing, you're buying from the same guy that runs this site. Just kind of weird, but they have excellent customer service and really nice, site and everything, and no complaints. Just a neat little trivia thing. So I'll show you what I'm probably looking at, and then we'll take a look at what I'd really like to get. So I have one of these. That's a terrible picture. Yeah. The Diamond A430S10. It's a beam antenna for 70 centimeters. It's got 10 elements. It's very nice and lightweight. Mine actually has one broken element. It's not broken, it's just bent. But we had a really bad hailstorm last May that like smashed my windshield and fucked up my car and all that. And that also like hit my antennas hard enough that it bent a couple of elements up in the air, which normally, I mean, these are really strong aluminum tubing and stuff like that. So that was really unexpected, but I haven't taken the mast down that the antennas are on to actually deal with it yet. Yeah. Here's the big boy, the M2. M2 Antennas is a company that is descended from a company that was named KLM. They made excellent antennas for ham radio and commercial stuff for years and years. And I guess it was three of the guys' initials, and the K and the L passed away. Um, and the M guy hooked up with another guy named M something, so they just made M2 or M squared. But very, very, very high quality antennas. Here's a good picture of the 2 meter one that I would really like to get. The downside is that this thing is $380. I mean, it's worth it. They build things really, really well, and it'll last forever, and it performs great and all that. They're just, golly, that's expensive. High quality antennas are built with better hardware, better aluminum, better design. I'm trying to think of let's take a look at a crappy antenna maybe. High gain is you can tell the name straight out of like the 50s thing where they had to screw up every name and make it like this weird joke. But they make like budget antennas. Um, yeah. Hard to find any really close shots of stuff. Here's a good example of something you get with an M2 antenna. So this is this is the part that the actual driven element feeds into. So your coax screws into here. They actually have a phasing line. It's just like this 3-foot piece of coax screws in here, and then it's clamped to the two sides of the elements there. Yeah, the Twitch notifications come late. I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Just set. Well, till we nail down the schedule, you may have to rely on it and be 10 minutes late. It's fine. It's all good. But I think we're going to establish the schedule at Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I was wanting to do Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, but I was informed that WWE Monday Night Raw is on Monday. So I decided to have mercy on all of you that like the wrestle. And so we moved it to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Especially since one of the main reasons that I wanted to... there's 2 nights of wrestling? Oh my god. Alright. Anyways. You get 1 night of wrestling at least. Oh, for God's sakes. 2 nights a week of pro wrestling? Really? Okay. That's wild. No, that's cool though. Anyways, oh yeah, the schedule. One of the reasons that I wanted to do Wednesday night, was so that we could occasionally hang out with the quote unquote prepper net. All the guys into disaster preparedness and stuff that I used to chat with. And, real talk, I've been listening to them a couple times, kind of afterwards, and I just don't have any desire to interact with them again. I've got a little food and water bullets here, but they just obsess over like apocalyptic scenarios, and it's depressing, and they're just like all they do is just like talk about their generator power and their solar panels and stuff, which after the first like 10 sessions or whatever, you're like, okay, we get it. You got a solar panel, the power goes out, you still have your, clock radio or whatever. So yeah, after a little bit of thought, I figured that Tuesday and Thursday might be a little more interesting. There's some other things on the radio normally. They're on 2 meters. They run on 146.55 simplex here. So yeah, I hung out with those guys for a couple of years when I first moved. Yeah. It's all just like Denver local regional guys. But I don't know. I just got burned out on them, and I heard some really shady stuff a couple times. Like they'd have a topic of discussion or chat or whatever every week. It's let's talk about solar power, or let's talk about water purification, or this, that, and the other. Or, what's the last radio you bought? There's a pretty broad range, but it was all generally kind of in that domain. Yeah, I had to condo that shit. But one night it was like, the question of the night was like, what's the first thing you do when shit hits the fan? SHTF or whatever, the big one. The end of the world as we know it. And, I want to say that, Schrodinger's Cat 5 was also listening on this. Maybe, maybe not, but I distinctly remember somebody saying, the first thing that I'm doing is going around my neighborhood with a pistol, a gas can, and a siphon tube. He was going to rob all of his neighbors for gasoline. And of course, he did it in a just kidding jokes, all that. Don't get triggered or nothing. But But even the fact that he'd joke about something like that was just like that was basically the last night that I ever seriously tuned in to that kind of local net. I was over it at that point. That's just antisocial. And once they actually start fantasizing about committing crimes to stay alive after whatever nukes fly, I don't know. It just got creepy, got really bad. So thanks, Grill. Uh, Anyways, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. Go a little earlier on Saturdays, but yeah, 7 p.m. Mountain seems to be a good time. Lets me get home from work and eat a salad. In this case, I'm trying to eat healthy. People keep making jokes about like exploding hearts and stuff, and I'm a little sensitive to that. So I'm just like, damn it, eat some greens. Yep. Oh yeah, preppers love talking about zombie apocalypse or whatever because it's a code name for race war. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Anybody that's like really into it, like if they have like zombie escape vehicle stickers on their Jeep and shit, they really just want like civil war, and they want to be able to kill a bunch of people with no like bad influence on their conscience or whatever. So yeah, don't trust anybody that gets too into like the whole zombie thing and all that. "Oh, I got an AR-15 and 6 ham radios in case of zombie attack." Um, they're really talking about race war and mowing people down with their machine guns or whatever. So yeah, a little pro tip from Matty Zed there. I was I was on what is it like the zombie squad forums or something because I was like, oh, it's a prepper community, neat, and talk about water, purification and backpacking and stuff like that. And after like 2 days on there, I was like, oh my god, these people are all just a bunch of like antisocial freaks looking for an excuse to use these huge guns they build up. So yeah, not necessarily anti-guns. I'm just anti-racist. So nah, no good. I don't deal with those scenes, and that's why I don't mess around on Wednesday nights on the local radio, because they're pretty much the hottest thing going, and I have no interest whatsoever. Let's take another little spin through, see if there's anything at all on. Looking on the 40-meter band. You hear that? It's just wall-to-wall static. And there's probably people talking, but can't hear a damn thing. I just heard a Windows 10 ding on that digital band because people use what's called Vox, and their radio automatically keys up when there's an audio input, and they forget to turn off their Windows sounds or use a separate sound card or whatever. So you hear it every time their computer dings.
Years ago, and we tuned it for 20 meters. You can feed it directly with coax for 20 meters, and boy, it works like a charm for field day. And it's a really neat little antenna. Anyway, I'll keep it short, Doug, and conditions might change here. We'll see what happens.
He's got a weird, neat accent.
W5NQH.
Okay, Dave, W5NQH to W5FN. We got a single hole, is that the SB1000? Go ahead.
Oh, yes, it is. The heat kit, it's a single tube, the SB1000, that is the one. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're just prattling on about their antennas and their amps.
Of the importance of being the best of the best on 3916. Because of members like Jim and W4FCW Ken Odom, 3916 is the frequency where all are welcome. This is KG5 RUY and all the way back to Stone Mountain KG5 GGY.
All right, thank you there, Ben. And a good job on the ham code. Could kind of hear it. So, anyway, thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. Here we are. It's a Tuesday night here on 3916. And we just kind of throw it around here. That's our motive, our MO, is to not have a net control. We kind of bounce it around like a game of radio tag, like a game of volleying. And
Heck yeah, it's the same thing we're doing.
Back and forth and try to get everybody involved.
Getting together, having fun, and chit-chatting. We'll leave this on for a little bit. They generally don't get like racist or anything on here.
And we do this all the way till 10 o'clock. Take a break at 9 for trivia. That's kind of fun.
The trivia net is fun, yeah.
We've got a couple of new stations in here. LJO, hold on just a second. And let's welcome W2RSC. That is Rob in Tennessee. Hey, Rob, real quick, tell us about you. What are you doing up there in Tennessee? About it, Rob, you still with us?
Generally, you'll hear everybody chit-chatting here on this band. It carries pretty far.
He'll check back in. I think he said he was brand new, just got the upgrade or just got the license and was just checking in for the first time. So anyway, let me throw it over to LJO. He'll get it started for us tonight. And again, if you're out there hearing us for the first time, wondering if this is a friendly place, yeah, come on in. It is friendly, and the more the merrier. So anyway,
I like these guys. All right.
WJ5LJO, pick it up, and good evening to you, KE5GGY.
All right, Pete, very good. Hopefully you're hearing me here. Signal went down for a moment. It's Whiskey Bravo, like Whataburger 5, Rima, Juliet, Oscar. Name was Martin, by the way. I guess I never did tell you that. For I don't know how many months now. His name was Martin, M-A-R-T-I-N. And we're living in Northeast El Paso, and we're just running a simple old beat-up butternut vertical here, and the old 70, what is this thing? iTown 7000. I have another radio with a dipole. I should be on that one if I hear me a little better. But anyway, I just thought I'd chime in early when I heard John.
There's some other people just a few kilohertz away. That's what that weird kind of low end is. I'm trying to filter them out. They're down on 3913 or maybe 3919. Oh yeah, I got some. Yeah, I got all kinds of airband radios. I got scanners. This thing will technically tune them. That guy can't hear anybody, and so he thinks there's nobody on. So he was just testing his radio. He's just blathering. Yeah, I've got a lot of airband radios. There's a lot of activity here that I can pick up out of Denver International. Nice. Can I get some nices in chat?
Hi, Jim.
So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to come back to these fellas because they said at 9 p.m., which I'm pretty sure they run Central Time, so 8 p.m. So like the top of the hour, they're going to run trivia, and we're going to just hang out and play a little bit of trivia with them. It's actually more fun than you think. I'm not going to actually talk, I'll just kind of tune in the feed here and we'll just enjoy, but it's really entertaining because they're super chill. And it's dumb old boomer trivia. What was, like Elvis Presley's first hit and stuff like that. But it's still really cute and they all have a good time. So, and it's actually pretty well run too, so. Let's just hang out with this gang.
WB0YCK.
Yeah, ADSB is really cool too. No, ADSB runs up on 1090 megahertz. So you can use like a SDR stick or something to tune in. But let's see if we can pull something up here. Yeah, FlightAware. I knew what it was. I just had to Google it, right?
Well, that's good. I guess I'm getting out better than I'm hearing.
Let's pull it up here and see. So these are all of the
Yeah, N5FKW, WB0YCK. Well, I'm
These are all the people listening to ADSB. Yeah, you can transmit on airbands, and I can. I can key my radio up. And you'll incite the wrath of not only the FCC, but the FAA. And as you know, the FAA is actually one of the few federal organizations that you do not want to fuck around with. So yeah, they'll show up at your door real quick. No, aircraft AM VHF is actually wide open, and unsecured. You know how I've talked a couple times about how there being more encryption in like sleepy suburban neighborhoods and less encryption in like busy urban, like gritty type areas. Same applies to air travel. Safety and performance is more important than any sort of security. So they just use ordinary amplitude modulation, and they specifically use that for a reason. Yeah, it's all AM, and yeah, it needs to work no matter what. You don't want to mess with encryption keys. Oh, this company didn't pay their license or their keys. All of a sudden, their planes can't talk and they crash into the ground because the keys expired mid-flight or something stupid like that. So like you might think, well, why don't they use FM? You know, like scanners do, or like VHF hams or whatever. And there's another important reason. It's because if there's an interference carrier, you know, like just like some unwanted signal on the same frequency that you're trying to talk to the tower or talk to the plane on, AM will let you hear the plane underneath that interference, versus FM. Exactly right. FM has capture effect, which means that the strongest station wins. So that means that if somebody wanted to be a super terrorist dickhead, they could point a directional antenna at the control tower or the antennas, you know, that they use, blast out a bunch of dead air, and they'd be the strongest signal if everybody used like narrowband FM. So that's why they use AM, because you can't jam it. There's no encryption, no digital, no nothing. Same thing for like international and overseas flights. Yep, digital dies out. It's got a floor, and yeah. You can also send Morse code if you just hit push to talk on your AM radio. So you can just hit push to talk in an SOS pattern, dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot, and it'll be recognizable very far off. So yet another win for AM. International flights just use open unencrypted single sideband, the same tech that this ham band uses. It's got good distance. Nice performance and so on. So yeah, they use primitive tech for aircraft communications. Stuff like ADSB and all that. It's all digital. You know, computer transponders and stuff, but you're supposed to be able to fly without any of those aids. So that's just kind of a nice thing on top. You know, if your GPS dies, if your computers die and all that, you want to have a basic radio on the plane just to be able to talk and get down safely till you can get things to fix it. Oh, do they use that for some like little shitty airstrips? You can just turn the lights on when you're coming in? That'd be amazing. Yes, this radio will do that. That's super great. Man, that would suck if they didn't turn on. I didn't know that. That's good to think about for sure. Pilot controlled lighting. Same as Unicom, okay. He's right. Let it be known, Sagebrush was right. Two different systems. Once activated, the intensity can be changed. Oh, wow. This is super great. Oh, thanks for sharing this. I like that a whole lot.
Sure would look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, I bet that's really exciting and fun to just like, and then, yeah, okay.
What was that?
Too cool, too cool.
Daddy, I'm gonna come. I'm afraid you might cancel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I can send the RF out on the airband. And again, being that this is being recorded, I would never ever consider that. I don't want to mess with airplanes anyways. Let them fly, let them do their thing. They got a hard enough job. Pilots don't even get paid well anymore. It's not a glamorous job.
Pretty late, Friday night, after we had the meal and all that, the dinner and all that, and everybody got to stand around talking, and I stayed there pretty late. Then I drove home, and then I went to bed, and then I got up early and drove back. So I thought, why didn't I just get me a room and stay there, So
Smart thinking. Just get the hotel room.
they made the stuff available there. Well, I called and reserved me one of the little cabins. But I'm going to stay there. And if I stay there till midnight, why I can just go crash, and then I can get up, the next morning, not have to drive in the dark and drive on them hills and curves, and kind of wore myself out. So I figured I'll just get me a room and stay there Friday and Saturday night and come home on Sunday, and take my time. And
See, the key to successful operation on this band on 75 meters is to have good audio, tons of power, and say everything 4 times. Just to make sure you got that nice long transmission. These guys love rambling. I'm gonna store this, and then we're gonna spin around a bit. We're gonna come back to them at the top of the hour though, and play trivia night. See if anybody else interesting is on. The friendly bunch. This is the friendly bunch. So we got the friendly bunch, we got the freewheelers, I think it is here. Let's see if I can EQ this a little bit.
I got 7 morning shovels and 4 square points.
Yeah, see these guys are using AM, but they're not quite strong enough. But I can tell because there's that carrier there. And pilot tone, sort of.
Have a great evening, and come on back next week. It's only a half-hour contest, and it goes from 0230 to 0300. And it's just simply name and state. So thanks a lot. 73's back to you for a final. KWA Dead.
Alright, I'm going to tune my antenna up just so it works just a little bit better here. And this is that thing where we squirt out a little bit of RF and then we flip the knobs. Try to get everything matched up from between the radio and the antenna. Just right around 3800 or 3900. And then we just go transmit. I'll actually turn that annoying tone off. You can see we're squirting out a bunch of RF. And there's a lot of reflected power here, so we're trying to null out that. Get that needle as low as possible. Pretty good. Alright, we have squirted out our RF. Listen to these dudes. Oh yeah, fun toy. We'll put this on just for a little bit of background vibes here. I made this after, you recall the shitpost writing bot that we did a little bit ago. You gonna work? Oh, you just worked like 20 minutes ago. There we go. So that is an Arduino coding of Tim Conway's Game of Life using that little 8x8 panel. It's just kind of fun to watch. Here, let me see if I can tweak this light a little bit. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so at the same time that you're sending a certain RF voltage out, the antenna has to be able to accept a certain amount of RF current. And if the antenna is not tuned right, yeah, you'll have what's called reflected power, which is literally some of the energy bounces back up the line, comes back in, and the next, like, active thing that it sees is the output transistors of your radio. And they don't like that. They tend to explode. Yeah, I like the Game of Life. I kind of tweak some of the life cycles and delays and stuff like that. Yeah, it literally comes back and then comes back to the, like, final transistor of your radio and will totally smoke it out. Most modern radios, like this one, it has what's called a fold back, to where if your match is too bad, it's gonna lower the transmit power to a level that it's whatever the bad match is, however much power is coming back, is still safe for it. But like back in the early to mid 80s, a lot of radios didn't have that, and people would hit push to talk on the radio that wasn't hooked up to an antenna or a mistuned one. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. We're having a good time here, playing radio, playing with the Arduino that's playing the Game of Life. Somebody commented that it looks very, like, kind of plasma-y or fiery, and I agree with that. It's basically set up, it stores the last 3 states of the board, and if it's doing just like an oscillation back and forth, like if it's stuck, then it fades out a little bit and then resets with a different one. Hook it up to chat? Ooh, I should find some code to tie it in. That sounds like it'd be a whole bunch of fun. Yeah, most definitely. Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah, we were talking, or listening into the old guys on the Freewheelers net. Yes, time domain reflectometers, if you've ever used one of those. Sorry, I was just trying to catch what that guy was talking about. He's got a big signal. It'd be less complex than you thought, because the Uno and most of the Arduino boards, they have a serial port. So if we can interface to a serial port and just have a little bit of glue code on, like, my stream box here, we'd probably tie it in. It'd probably be cooler if we, like, actually, you know, like, had it completely by itself. But yeah, like, could absolutely run like a little some sort of sorry, getting DMs. Not the good kind. Well, I mean, they're good, but not the sexy kind. Anyways, yeah, time domain reflectometers use the fact that the signal bounces off the end of the cable and comes back. So you send out a pulse and you start a very accurate clock, and then however long it takes for that pulse to come back, that's where your cable's broken. One neat thing is that some motherboard BIOS has a crude TDR built in now. It's like Ethernet cable measuring or something, usually in like a sub menu of your BIOS. But I've had a few boards that could measure cable length with like 1 meter accuracy, which is pretty amazing. And they just use TDR concepts. They send out a pulse and then time how long it took to bounce back, and that's generally how long the cable is. You had to make sure that the far end of the cable was not plugged into anything. That was the only limitation. But I tested it with like 3 foot and 10 foot and like 100 foot cables, and it worked. For the average person, I mean, yeah, you got to kind of think if somebody's using a network cable, they're probably a little bit cut above, more technically minded than somebody that's just hooking up Wi-Fi. So they may have a cable that's like snakes across the whole house and their internet stops working, and then you can find out where the cable's broken, roughly. You know, it's broken 30 feet down the line or 75 feet down or something like that. So it's more useful than you think. I've heard a couple stories of people diagnosing kind of weird shit with a motherboard TDR. Yeah. You can do it with just like an oscilloscope too, and a little signal generator that you can pulse on and off. You can just like, if the refresh rate of the scope is at a known rate, you can then send out a pulse and just see how far to the right the little like bump from the reflection is, and ballpark, use speed of light and all that to figure out about how long the wire is or where it's broken. But yeah, it's very cool.
Cabins were like $149, you know.
Mice aren't as much of a problem as rabbits. Holy shit. I left a couple of coax runs on the ground outside, and rabbits chewed straight through those things. I mean, we're talking 1/4 inch thick cable, copper braid, insulation, and they just ate straight through it. Like, rabbits are bonkers. They will chew through fucking anything. Yeah, they chewed through LMR 400. Yeah. So I make sure to suspend things well off the ground now, and I don't let anything float around on the ground because rabbits, evidently, they like, it's just like that teething thing, like their teeth are constantly growing or something, so they have to find things to just gnaw on. And turns out they really like wire. So yeah, I'm just super cautious of getting my wires eaten by rabbits, because once a piece of coax is like chewed in half, it's really hard, if not impossible, to splice back, and it'll never be quite right again. The stuff's from the factory. You want to use it as one unbroken piece. You can't really just solder a couple chunks together. You can, but again, there's a little bit of loss there, a little bit of mismatch, and it just never runs right again. You got to weatherproof it, just pain in the butt. So you try to keep your runs as long and unbroken as possible, for sure. Couple people that are kind of tough to pick up there. That guy a little bit ago was coming in well, but yeah. Yeah, especially when you're talking like Gig E or anything like that. God forbid anything faster. Yeah, you can't just tape wires together and find splices. Like, the signals are too high frequency and too like precise. You can't. It just doesn't work. I've used spliced cables before, and it'll often knock you down from gig to 100 or even down to 10 megabits, and it's no fun. Yeah, it is. Fiber splicing is nuts. You like polish the ends. You make lots and lots of money doing that. Fusion splicers. I think they can just like externally melt it, but yeah, you want to splice fiber optic cables, you need something like this. You put the two ends in, and like you have to like cut them very like with a very sharp knife and polish the end and all that, and then run it in a machine like this. And how much does AliExpress want for a fiber splicer? I want to see. Yeah, even on AliExpress, It's $1,700, $1,800 because it's shipping too. So yeah, you can imagine like an actual name brand one. It's $10,000-$20,000. But hey kids, if y'all want a great job, learn how to splice glass. Because we're only using more and more fiber all the time. Yeah, that's what it looks like. You gotta set it up and get things set up just right. But yeah, you can make $80 an hour. Now you're gonna be working down in a manhole in a rainstorm. But yeah, you're right. He was a splicer. I don't know if it's the current generation of stuff, but yeah, it's definitely a thing that he did in the past.
KL7, Charlie Delta, WB0YCK up here at Neosho, Missouri. Yeah, I got
Neosho, Missouri. I know where that is.
So, I'm sure the guys is getting ready for trivia there. So 7-3s, Mike. We'll catch you down there. We'll see you, and if we don't, we'll see you on the radio here. So somebody else want to jump in here before trivia starts? WB0YCK. Back to you.
Yeah, I've never put connectors on. I've only messed with like SPDIF fiber here in the house. I've never used it for data at all, like professionally or just as a hobby or whatever at the house.
You're blowing into Texas quite well. How am I?
Blown into Texas quite well.
Well, you're blowing into Missouri quite well too. See,
That's a UH at the end of Missouri.
the southern part of Texas there, so we're quite a ways apart with me and him, and he was come in here like gangbusters, and then he'd go down a little bit, but then he'd come back up. So
All right.
like you said,
We at the top of the hour. We rocking it. Got a good 10 people chatting in here. Thanks everybody for joining in. We're gonna keep it rocking. I want to be back from break by the top of the hour, so we're going to take 5 right now, and I'm gonna go take a real quick break, and then we're gonna bring it back up, and then we're gonna play trivia with these old grandpas. So yeah, everybody hang tight. We'll be right back. let's bring this back. And we back, everybody. All right, playing the game of life over there on the Arduino.
I haven't heard AY or Pete or any of them. They're, like I said, Pete's about 300 miles from me, and I guess the band's long, because I've been hearing all them Texas stations, way down in the southern part of Texas, but I'm not hearing Pete.
Oh, Pete, classic Pete. So one thing that I want to poke at that I've wanted to show off on the stream for a while is just this really, really nice piece of gear that I've had for a couple of years. Back them off till they start trivia. But this is an antenna tuner, none of those little matchboxes, like the one we just fiddled with. And I found this at a ham fest, and I just wanted the box originally. I asked how much, and they said $15. Seems to be a common price for a lot of things I buy. So, this is a hand-built homebrew antenna tuner. Sharpie labels on all the stuff. But whoever built this completely overbuilt this device so much. So we're gonna just crack it open, and I'm gonna poke at a couple things and show you what a really good piece of homebrew hardware looks like. Got a really nice case. I think here comes trivia.
Yes, everything, like Fred just said, anything 300 miles plus is maybe a little less, but yeah, the short stuff, not existent. But that's why we've got two trivia folks, two trivia sources each night. I'll take part two. I'm going to take part one. This is KE5GGY. We're going to continue in some categories we started last night, like time travel in movies, horror TV shows, the grab bag, of course, and bizarre 1970s history, along with a bunch of music.
Oh, this is going to be a good one. Okay. I'm all about this one.
So let me get geared up here, put my my super duper glasses on that I use for trivia, X-ray vision, and let's
let me
start
get a
out,
little
guys,
volume
with
here.
time travel in movies. And some pretty wild stuff here. I'm reading this first question, hoping you guys can help me. This is a description of a movie with time travel in it. You tell me the name of the movie. 2 points, as always. 2-point question if you get it without any clues. Okay, here we go. Description says, a World War II anti-radar experiment causes a naval ship to disappear in Virginia, throwing 2 of its sailors into the future. Anybody
Sagebrush got it.
Talk about this or give me the name of the movie without any clues.
Philadelphia Story.
WA0ORI.
They're fighting over it.
All right, so RBR just said Philadelphia experiment. Anybody agree with that? I'm agree with it. Cases or MQS, Pete. There's Jimmy sounding good. LPE.
This is kind of chaotic, but it's fun.
I disagree. Oh, okay. Robert disagrees. So we got to vote for the Philadelphia experiment and LPE. What do you say?
Final countdown.
Final countdown. Okay. Anybody else?
ORI?
Go ahead, station.
Yeah, ORI agrees with Philadelphia Story.
Okay, Philadelphia experiment. Yeah, let me give you the choices. Choices are My Science Project, the Philadelphia Experiment, McHale's Navy, or the Invisible Man. So it looks like consensus is taking us in the direction of the Philadelphia Experiment, and that is correct. I'm gonna have to watch that. It sounds like a terrific movie, and we are 1 for 1. Robert, what was the name of the movie? Final Countdown. What was in that?
Yeah, Mark Sheen's in that.
That sounds pretty cool too. Is it a similar?
Oh, this is too good. So yeah, this back it off. So yeah, this antenna tuner has a big old switch in it. Let me pull in the mic for some thunk.
All right, I'm writing these down because those sound like great movies to check out here on Netflix. All right, guys, one more time travel movie.
So
I'll
good.
give you the,
So good. So very good. Yeah.
the movie.
Um.
And here's one that reads.
So that's a capacitor that selects
Book
Oh.
and is sucked back into medieval times along with his Oldsmobile.
Anybody want to try that?
And your choices are the Betsy, Army of Darkness.
Oh, it's Army of Darkness.
King Arthur's Court, or the
Necronomicon, is that it?
Necronomicon.
Necronomicon. Anybody with an thought on that?
MQS.
Jimmy.
Answer B.
The Army of Darkness.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. Man reads an evil book and is sucked back into medieval times along with his Oldsmobile. The Oldsmobile thing kills me.
I don't know. That sounds like any day on Fox News.
Hey-o. Correct, Jimmy. All right. I don't remember that. That must not have been a huge movie.
Didn't read the book.
Oh. No. Don't even.
All right, one more.
Holy shit, that's snaky.
Category. A man dressed in a bunny suit saves a boy from being crushed by a jet engine that has fallen through a wormhole in his own bed. Again, description reads, a man dressed in a bunny suit saves a boy from being crushed by a jet engine.
We're on
that has fallen through
3916,
a wormhole in
lower
his own
sideband.
bed. Choices are Time Bandits, Donnie Darko, Hero, or Near Dark. Wondering about Donnie Darko, because that is about time travel.
CPS.
What do you think, Matt?
Well, there's a Bunny Man and Donnie Darko, so I'm going to guess Donnie Darko.
I know the Darko movie is about time travel. I just don't know if it's that one. Let's see if we're right. And that is correct. The movie was shot in 28 days. Tell me it's really a good
That's
movie.
kind of fast.
All right, 3 for 3. We're going to escape this category and go to the Legends of Rock Guitar. And this
The
was
old
a
man
fun
got tired of being
category
confused
last
by
night.
time
We
travels.
broke this open last night and had a good time. So let's continue tonight. These are some questions that kind of make you think. All right, here we go. Peter Frampton, an accomplished guitarist at age 12, played lead in a British band, Humble Pie, before becoming a megastar on his own. His live performances are legendary. Frampton literally made his guitar talk. How did he get this effect? And here are your choices. A, by using a talk box and modulating by changing the shape of his mouth. B, by playing the guitar into a keyboard synthesizer. C, by using an effects pedal called a stereo phaser. Or D, by picking the guitar with his teeth close to the microphone. Oh, Zulu, what do you say? Alpha. All right, so EZ says by using talkbox and modulating by changing the shape of his mouth. Was that LJO too?
Roger, that would be Bob Heil's talk box.
All right, the talkbox. Did Bob Heil develop that?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that. Okay, anybody else? That is so cool. I did not know that. That is the correct answer, by the way. And it says here, Frampton uses a device called a talkbox that amplifies the direct guitar sound via a tube and filters it through his mouth before bouncing it back to the microphone.
Joe Walsh used it too in Rocky Mountain High.
I remember that.
Peanut gallery's coming in. Oh, yeah, yes.
Four. And that was really interesting. Let's do one more from Legends of Rock Guitar. Listen up. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd is an extremely atmospheric and expressive guitarist. He pioneered many tuning and guitar effects like amplified feedback, reverb, and screeching. He replaced another legend to become Floyd's lead six-stringer in 1968. Your question is, who did David Gilmour replace in Pink Floyd? 2 points if you get it without any choices.
Zero Papa.
Zero Papa.
That would be the great Sid Barrett.
All right, Sid Barrett, interesting, is one of the choices. So is Floyd Council, Pink Anderson, or Roger Waters. Who agrees with Sid Barrett? LJO, you guys are right on this category. 5 for 5. And we're having some fun with this category. One more from this category of Legends of rock Guitar.
Oh, they're loving this
Listen to
shit.
this clue. This highly respected guitarist started his career in Mexico and closed out the 60s with a performance at Woodstock. Plenty of recording and touring With his self-named band and collaborations with other famous musicians, kept his popularity high for the next 30 years. He picked up 8 Grammys for the album Supernatural in 1999. Who is this legend? PBS, help us out.
Carlos Santana featuring Rob Thomas of Matchbox 20.
Carlos
Smooth.
Santana, that would make sense. Anybody agree with Carlos Santana?
Yes.
KMO agrees. All right, we got agreement, and Carlos Santana is correct. Well done, guys. 6 for 6.
Heyo.
We'll come back to this category. It is terrific. But right now, we're going to stay in music and head back to the 60s. So here, and these are a little easier, obviously, just basic music questions. But we're
Really?
talking about Elvis. And in the spring of 1960, the King spent a good portion of that time at the top of the charts with his first #1 song of the 60s. Your question tonight, what was the name of that first #1 song of the 60s? Hard-Headed Woman, Stuck on You, I Need Your Love Tonight, or One Night? I would guess I Need Your Love Tonight.
They always have Elvis trivia.
I'm guessing that based on what I've read in the Wayback Machine, but I may be wrong. Either that or Stuck on You. Anybody else? What was Elvis's first #1 song of the 60s? Yankee, go ahead, you Yankee.
Oh, Papa Mike would have guessed.
I told you they talk about Elvis every trivia net.
It was. What do you say? That's my Hawkeye friend. Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Look at those beautiful capacitors down there.
All right, Joe in Iowa, the Iowa Hawks says...
Those are rated at 5,000 volts.
Papa Mike is
Breakdown
in the Upper
voltage.
Peninsula. What do you say, Pete?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sorry, I didn't even hear that other guy at all. But I'm going to get stuck on you.
Oh, you're a professional doubler. You're always walking on people.
Oh, well, that's what I do.
So that's how we roll. Anyway, another vote for Stuck on You. I think we're going to have to go with you guys, unless anybody thinks it's I Need Your Love Tonight. All right, we're going with you guys, and that is correct. 7 for 7. And Papa Mike, you are strong tonight.
Yeah, he's walking the dog. Hello, Papa Mike. I'll have to take my monthly shower, I guess.
You monthly? I didn't know you did it that often.
Old man banter.
Jimmy's saying
These guys
hi.
are kings
You
of
may be
it.
A little close, but are you hearing Jimmy?
Oh, yeah. How you doing, Jimmy? I'm doing real
Yeah, they'll talk a little shit. These guys are nice though. Like they're not trying to be nasty and like they don't really talk politics or anything on air.
There you go. All right, one more from the 60s, guys. You ready? And your question reads, who rode us to the top of the charts with Pony Time? As in a little small horse. Pony Time in the early parts of 1961. Anybody for 2 points who had Pony Time as a hit?
Papa Mike for standby.
There's Papa Mike. Anybody that hasn't been on tonight? AIE.
Stop hogging all the answers.
Chubby Checker happens to be one of the choices, Robert. Anybody else? ORI agrees. ORI agrees. What do you think, Papa Mike? Chubby Checker?
That's what I'm thinking.
All right, let's see if you guys have that, and that is correct. We are total at 8 for 8. Nice. 85 GGY. We're going to stay in the 60s for one more. And this is a good one. We've had it many times, so I'm going to throw this out to a brand new player. Somewhere, somebody tonight has not been in trivia ever. For a first-time player, this is for you. Guys that are veterans, hold your mics down. Put them on the floor. Put them underneath your seat, whatever. But listen to this, and let's get a brand new player. The one-hit wonder, Hey Baby, hit #1 in 1962. Who was the artist on Hey Baby? For a new player, who's out there? All right, new player still. Let me give the choices. Mel McDaniel, Jimmy Reed, Albert McClinton, or Bruce Chanel?
I've never heard of 3 of those people.
Go ahead, station. I hear you. And the 6th station, give us your answer. What do you say?
Oh, Bruce
All right, we got Bruce Chanel coming out of 6 Country. Anybody agree with Bruce Chanel on Hey Baby?
MQS agrees.
Of course, Bruce Chanel is correct. And the 6th station,
Yeah, I
what's your
know.
location, sir? Anybody with a relay?
Yeah, Bakersfield, California. It's pretty strong.
Bakersfield. Good morning, Bakersfield. Very nice. Okay, well, good to hear Bakersfield. And thank you, Pete, for the relay from Michigan. That's pretty crazy. All right, let's do one more 60s song question. The 3rd straight number 1 for the 4 seasons topped the charts in March of 1963. Which one of these songs was it? Candy Girl, Walk Like a Man, Marlena, or Peanuts?
Or what?
MQS, Jimmy, up to bat.
Walk like a man.
Jimmy says walk like a man. Anybody else?
You did say the 3rd one, didn't you?
Who was it? I doubled with you.
No, it was Pete. I said you did say the 3rd one, didn't you?
Yeah, the 3rd straight number 1 hit for the 4 seasons hit in March of 63. What was it? There's another Walk Like a Man. Papa Mike, what do you say?
I don't know.
I Walk Like a Man is correct. Jimmy, I think you are red hot tonight, my friend.
You can only cheat on this game if you do all of your online searches through like some like horrible AOL toolbar or something like that. Can't use Google. That's banned.
For 9. And guys, we've been perfect, but now we're going to ratchet up the difficulty. As we're going to bizarre 1970s U.S. history. And I've looked at least the first question, and this is tough. We're going to have to really think about this. But here we go. 1970s bizarre history. Listen to this question. Ainsworth and Carswell. What was it, or who were they? Ainsworth and Carswell in the 70s. Here are your choices. Nixon appointees to the Supreme Court, both rejected by the Senate. B is key members of the Church Committee, which investigated CIA abuses. C, according to Nixon, 2 of the finest public servants it has ever been my privilege to know. And D, New York law firm at which Attorney General John Mitchell had previously been a senior partner. So what is Haynes and Carswell? Zulu Sierra. Hello, Professor Steve.
Boy, I lived through that, and it's nothing else. I'm going to go with number 4, the last one.
That's where I was drawn to as well, that it's the law firm that John Mitchell had previously been a senior partner in. Anybody else? Alpha, what do you say? Alpha.
It's the 6th. He's saying Alpha. A.
Can't hear him. I think we're going to go with that, though. And it was no Nixon appointees to the Supreme Court, both rejected by the Senate.
That's number A, right?
What's that?
I say, was that...
They're not really good at this.
Number 1, A?
It was A.
Okay, he got it right.
Is that what he said? Is that what he said, Pete?
Yeah, the WA6 said that.
All right, well, you know what? Since he said that, we're going to take credit for it. It was just operator error on the part of net control.
At least he's honest. He's just an old goober having fun.
Thank you. And Pete, don't let that happen again, okay?
I'll try not to.
All right, here's one more from the bizarre 70s history category. This is kind of tough. All right, what supposed campaign gaffe by Jimmy Carter did some mistakenly think would cost him the presidency? So what
Lusted in my heart.
did Carter have during his campaign that many thought it was going to cost him the gig? And here are your questions. Oh, Zed, hold on. We're going to give the choices. Hold on. A, he referred to Prime Minister of India as Mrs. Mahatma Gandhi. B, he said he found nothing intrinsically wrong with his brother Billy's relationship with Gaddafi. C, he enthusiastically supported the annexation of Puerto Rico. Or D, he told a Playboy interviewer that he had committed adultery in his heart. LZ.
DDD.
All right. Number of people agreeing with D. Anybody want to disagree with D and go with something else? Yeah, the last one is it, and that is correct. I've forgotten all about that.
Old Jimmy.
Up there. 11 for 11, guys. Pretty good. We got time for a couple more. Let's stay in the weird 70s, bizarre 70s history. And here's a good one for you. This is, again, going back to President Jimmy Carter's.
He's downright wholesome.
By what striking animal was President Jimmy Carter attacked by near the end of his term? Was it a rabid dog, enraged lamprey, a wild boar, or a menacing rabbit? OLG. All signs, please. OLG. Yankee. Go ahead, the Yankee station. Rabbit. The silly wabbit. Anybody agree with the silly wabbit? Silly wabbit. Let's see if that's right. That is correct. You're a wimp if you get attacked by a rabbit. I'm just saying.
Oh, don't talk shit on Carter.
That's pretty funny. I wonder what they did with the rabbit. It's probably get tortured. That's made Billy Beer out of it. Rabbit flavor Billy Beer. Okay, how about one more on Carter? Yeah, we're kind of on a roll here. We got time for one more. Carter, though a candidate without broad appeal, was aided in his run for the presidency when his Republican rival made this amusing assertion during a debate. So what did, would have been Gerald Ford. What did Gerald Ford assert during the debate? And here is your list of choices. A, there is no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe. B, Richard Nixon was one of the finest public servants it was my privilege to know. C, inflation is when there's too much money out there. Or D, Spiro Agnew was the victim of a vast left-wing conspiracy. Zero Papa.
I just like
Zero
D.
Papa. Hold on, anybody hasn't been in tonight?
All right, we got 3 choices just here in the chat.
WJ0P, that would be Alpha. There is no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe. Anybody agree with that? There's AY. Hello there, Jim. And that is correct, guys.
Oh, wow.
Bringing our halftime score to 13 out of 13.
Yeah, it sure is.
You see where we're at on this quiz. We got 2 more questions in this category tomorrow night. So I'll tell you what, guys. We'll finish up Legends of Rock Guitar, which has been terrific so far, and then also
It looks really good.
70s U.S. history. All right, we'll do that tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel, but right now this is KE5GGY high atop Stone Mountain, sending it to Colorado to AA5KG. Hello, Al.
Oh, you're extra strong in Michigan tonight.
Too good down in southeast Texas, KO5K.
A little bit of chaos here as they're switching over. I think a different guy's going to run. It does, doesn't it?
Like you said, that's why we split it up this way. Okay, first set of questions we're going to do some fun facts.
A little bit of static here. I think they're going to keep it going, but they switch off to having a different guy ask the questions, so all the people that can't hear the first guy can play a little bit, which is pretty considerate, pretty nice. Can't hear people too well right now. Yeah, where's my monitor? There it is. Possibly, yeah. I could probably like holler and get in there for a question. I'm all tuned up and ready to go, so if there's one that we really want to jump on, I'll just key up and we'll go. This is the code for the game of life that's running right now. Yeah, we can't hear this guy too well, unfortunately. I'll put it on real low. If there's some strong stations, I may pull it back up some. Till then, it's just a little bit of white noise.
5 kilo. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
guess
you can.
clowns, but if it was my funeral, I'd want strippers.
Alright, we might have to turn this up and just try for him. That's a little lame.
LJO. LJO. I believe it's Lennon also.
Let's see if maybe we can listen better on the other antenna. Not much of a chance, but yeah, there's a pretty dramatic difference. Sadly, I think we're gonna have to dump on trivia night. We got the first 20 minutes though, that was fun. But yeah, they do that every night. See if there's any interesting crap to go on there.
Today, tomorrow will be 78, and Thursday will be 81.
You know, Grub down there in Festus, he got more snow than we did up here in Michigan.
Holy crap. It's 59 here right now. Oh, that's not too bad.
No, not at all.
Brady'd be outside running around in his banana
Banana hammock. Bless their heart.
Well, it's blue on one side and white on the other. Paint it red.
Yeah, it's right out for it. I'll paint it black. Maybe I can hide it from it. But I have been thinking about that. Sure have. Everybody here's got the horse fence has good luck. Real good luck with them. You did that a couple of years ago, and I just set it aside here. But I'm going to take the Dentron Clipper to nail off the shelf here and see if I can get
There's a few guys talking about the radios. Kind of a quiet night though. You can really tell like the static. Like if I just tune in between stations, all those static crashes, that's lightning from like East Texas and Louisiana right now. It kind of sucks. But can definitely hear it. It carries thousands of miles, especially on these lower bands. Yeah. Sounds like a pretty nice temperature to me. You know what I'm saying? Just take a quick spin and see if 40 meters came back. Nothing. The sun hates us. The weather hates us. Summertime's kind of one of those eras where, or periods where some of these bands are not too useful just because of the static crashes. Oh yeah, one thing I was wanting to goof around with a little bit tonight. We're gonna see It might not be the right time of day, but we're going to find out. One of the cool things you can do on here, on the shortwave bands, is to get weather maps that they transmit. They still transmit fax weather maps. This is the same as like analog fax. And they, is this the right one? It's not right. They still do these all day long out to ships at sea because it's one of the most reliable ways to get it out there. So we gotta find a couple frequencies that we can try. What time is it? 3:29 Zulu. UTC. These are all the transmitters and their schedules for when the maps go out. We can't get all of these, but we can get some of them. But we're gonna look down for North America. Here we go. Halifax one is probably not possible. Iqaluit? That's a tough one. Yeah, the Resolute one only works in summertime because nobody sails around outside of that time. Kodiak. Point Reyes is probably our best shot. Yeah, they are sending maps. So let's see, let's make sure. Getting radio input, awesome, cool, yay. Let's see what frequency Point Reyes transmits on. This is always USB. Okay. We do the radio and the game alive? Close enough. Let's go from the bottom up. 43, 46. And you have to actually subtract 1.9 kilohertz from that to get the actual frequency. So let's do that. Let me pull up. Actually, take my monitor off. Turn your monitor off. There we go. Back to FL Digi. And WeFax 576. 43, 46. But we have to tune down further. Down 1.9 kilohertz. We go down 2. And I'll back that down. Because I know that's hella annoying. There we go. Now you know what fax tones sound like. We'll just watch from here. And let's get us a weather map. The shit's fun. They come in really high res. This is actually at 50% zoom down. This is coming in really well. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, this is cool. This might actually prove to be useful now and then. Assuming they keep transmitting these. The sync's kind of messed up on this one. And adjust the slant because the timing, because it's 120 lines per minute, so in theory each one takes a half a second. But if your sound card is miscalibrated, and I have recently switched sound cards, didn't even think about that till just now. You get some garbled photos. Yeah, I think the fades are getting us. Look and see if there's another frequency. Might work better. 86, 82. Let's try that. Yeah, we're not picking them up at all on that frequency. Fax is cool, dude. Cool kids send faxes. Yeah, I haven't recalibrated my sound card. That's the problem here. It's coming across clearly, as you can tell. It's just the timing's not quite right. I need to go back, and we actually use the time stations WWV to calibrate our sound cards, because those are, atomic clock controlled, that the carrier frequency is extremely accurate. So you just basically tune into that, and then you let your radio receive it for like a half hour, and you'll notice if there's like even just like a half a hertz difference between what you think it is and what the actual frequency is. So, but yeah. Any other stations that we might be able to get here? Let me check and see. New Orleans, 4317. I have that programmed in. Voice. I don't know what this is.
Chance of snow. Thursday night. North to northeast winds 10 to 20 knots.
Oh shit.
Seas 4 to 8.
They switched to voice weather on here.
East to northeast winds 5 to 15 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Friday night. East to northeast winds 5 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Saturday.
That's pretty wild. I think I also figured out why the sync was screwing up. We're going to go back and try again here. So we go back to 4344. And clear that. This may work a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. The problem was that I had the digital noise reduction turned on my radio, and digital like data modes and stuff like this does not like that at all. So let this map come in. We want to try to make those lines, that big index line on the left side, be as vertical as possible. You just a little slant command to tweak your timing here. Let that run for a bit. Now it's still messing up. Not sure why. You can see like the fading patterns though. I'm wondering if there's something going on with that where it's like losing sync every few lines. It seems to be about what it is, about every 5 or 6 lines. A little bit more signal. Still can't do it. We gotta go to WWV and calibrate this sound card. No time like the present. That might be enough signal. It's really hard for me to pick up WWV because they're too close. They're only an hour away in Fort Collins. And it's sometimes really frustrating. There we go. They're really good on 2.5 megahertz. Okay, so I actually need to switch over to my monitor because this is a separate window here. And if you've never heard WWV, it's a time station. Woo! So we're actually listening to that constant tone here. That's what the white thing is. So we click on it to center it on the red. And then we're going to just let this tune in and just count the frequency of that 1000 hertz tone, or 500, I guess, over like several minutes. And then you'll see like it'll be slanted one way or the other. And based on how much that's slanted, this is how we calibrate our sound cards to atomic standards. One thing we need to do.
1 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff right there. Constant perfect tone, constant perfect interval behind the clicks there that you see. And then yes, they just speak out the time too. At like 48 seconds before the hour. One interesting thing is that there's also a little more data encoded in their signal. So for example, WWV, the first 10 seconds or sorry, first 10 seconds of the minute, it might do double clicks on certain ones. Let's see if we can hear it actually.
At the tone, 3 hours, 42 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
Did you hear that double click there? So that means that we are currently at 7/10 of a leap second positive. So they tell you how far off we are from the last time we did a leap second correction by doing a double click at seconds 0 through 9. So it'll start out tit 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 right after, like a few months after they do a leap second, and then it'll be tick 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 tick. So it's really fascinating, like how they give sub-second accuracy on the time signal just with that little bit of extra information. Listen to another minute here.
At the tone, 3 hours, 43 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
Oh, this is a special minute. They were in slight danger of shutting down WWV, but they got funding. It only takes like $5 million a year to run this, so it was pretty easy to get the funding. Uh-huh. So yeah, here's all the
At
special
show,
stuff that they
3
transmit.
hours, 44 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
So now we're in the last quarter of the hour here, and they just don't do that tone for a while. Then they do a couple of different pitch tones. So you can get a 440 A tone off of WWV if you really need to tune your guitar. Just tune in at 2 minutes past the hour. A little bit of fading there. And yeah, if you go to the Wikipedia page, they have all the kind of special things. Fascinating, isn't it? And there's CHU up in Canada, and they do a lot of the same things, and a lot of the same codes.
At the tone, 3 hours, 45 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time.
So, anyways, fun with WWV. Yeah, a lot of them do. You can absolutely get a WWV QSL, I believe. Like Radio Havana, Cuba, they'll also send them out. So yeah, a lot of stations. I mean, if they're still in the air, generally, yeah, they'll be happy to send you a card. Um, yeah, that would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? I still barely hear them in my headphones. I don't know why. I guess this Switch doesn't have tons of isolation. Anyways, we're still calibrating our sound card against this. See how it's kind of gone crooked? That means that we need to adjust the PPM on the receive, and that's just a correction factor. See what it looks like with 0, because I forget which way it goes. Then we center it again. There we go. Think if I right click, yeah, it expands it and makes it bigger. So we just let this go for a while. And let's see what it looks like with no correction on it. This card may be relatively accurate, so we'll see. And I did a zoom in, so that same trace of that 500 hertz tone or whatever is just like 6 times wider, so it's easier to see the trend. But we're still just calibrating our sound card. It's really nice that you can do this, though. Alright, Burge, thanks for hanging out. We'll catch up with you later. May just go for 2 hours tonight. Does everybody like Tuesday, though? Does Tuesday work? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? Seems better than Monday, Wednesday, Saturday for some reason. Monday, usually people got crazy shit going on, so I like the Tuesday, Thursday thing. There's also some interesting stuff that we can tune into on Thursday nights here. They have some local kind of technical gatherings and stuff on the air, some nets, so we may tune into some of those. Certainly more interesting than the preppers for sure. Wonder how many little cells have born and lived and died over in my life game there. It looks really cool on camera though. I dig it. So yes, you can see that line's pretty accurate now, so I think this card may actually not even need correction. They may be in pretty good shape. So I'm going to go back, see if I can't get that fax. Where they at? Turn off the AFC. Yeah. Let's see if that works any better. Let this run for a little bit. Yeah, we didn't really do too many solder projects tonight. It's okay. I know it's late for the East Coasters anyways. Is it coming up on 11? Oh yeah, this is coming in a lot better now. That just scared the hell out of me. I heard Morse code buzzing through my headphones, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I realized my phone was on vibrate, and on iPhones you can set custom patterns. Yeah, yeah. You can set custom patterns of vibration. So I have SMS and SMTP and CAL and SLCK set up as my various vibration alerts. So when my phone's in my pocket and I'm in a meeting or something, I at least know if it's buzzing because I have a calendar thing popping up, or somebody sent me an email or whatever, stuff like that. Oh, that's funny. Didn't even think that I'd hear it, but yeah, it was just loud enough up there that the mic picked it up a little tiny bit. Yeah, see, after a couple minutes, that fax reception just keeps kind of crapping out. I'm not sure what's going on. Might have to play with it a little bit more, do some tests, and see if I can get clear maps because I've gotten some really good ones before. So I think Thursday we're gonna bring the rotator project out. One of the things I realized here's here's the infrastructure of it right now. One thing that I realized is that there's just too much code in the rotator controller software to fit on one of those Unos I bought. So we're gonna use my big old Mega 2560, which has a million IOs, but most importantly, it has like eight times the RAM of the little $5 Unos. And I guess that's necessary for this. There's enough code and enough variables. So yeah, we're gonna be. I don't know about putting it in a box, but putting it like on a breadboard and getting things kind of strapped together. We'll have motors turning on the next session for sure. We got the little relay boards, and these capacitors were essential for the project because yeah, we send power to one of the two motor wires through the capacitor, and the other one's direct. And they have what's called a phase shift. The signal is delayed a little bit. So when one's at max voltage, the other is at zero, and when the first one goes to zero, the second one goes to negative max and stuff. But the motors are wound so that they expect that, and that's how you can send them to turn to the left or to the right. So I'm gonna play around with trying to get a motor spinning here on the next one. I'm not sure if if I'm gonna need anything besides the little accelerometer. I found that it does keep bearing very good when it's flat. But part of what I was thinking was that it could not only rotate, but it could tilt as the antennas tilt up and down. Um, and it turns out that the compass on this gets less accurate as it tilts. So I may need to get two different sensors, maybe just two of these, and one of them only tilts and one of them only spins, in order to figure out like the best positioning approach. But we're gonna be playing more, and I'm gonna hopefully be able to turn this and make the motor turn, so on. So getting things together slowly but surely for all that. It's a big project, and I'm not in any big rush besides wanting to get it before it gets like warm summertime. Um, that's not that far off. So it's kind of my like winter cabin fever project is to get that controller set up and get it working well. And we'll have it set up just here on the bench and make sure the motor spins properly and well before we put it up out in the elements and all that. So I don't know if I'll be twitching myself heaving like 25-foot poles around. Might be better for other sites. No, dirty joke. Um, anyways, so yeah, just slowly getting the antenna controller working. The big thing is that I really wanted to get on the satellites and play with my with the radios that I'm going to buy that aren't out yet. That Icon 9700. Unfortunately, it's been delayed again, and it's not going to be out till like April or so, something like that. So upside is I got another month to save. Not that I need it, but I'll have even more headroom then. Downside is that can't really play with it yet. So annoying because it's out in Japan and I've got Japanese coworkers. And just as a joke, I asked one. I was like, "Hey, if I, kick you cash and pay the exchange rate, would you buy one of these and mail it to me?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, sure, no problem." But if I did that, it would technically be a Japanese owned radio, and I would have to mail it to Japan if it ever broke, which would suck. It'd be like $120 shipping or something like that. So I'm being patient. I'm not gonna drag it out or do anything stupid, and I'm fine with just kind of letting things show up when they do because we got a lot of work to do between then and now. So I figured I'm trying to get the antennas set up and the feed lines and all that, and then we can just plug the radios in, have a big unboxing party here, peel the plastic off. Um, oh yeah, speaking of peeling the plastic off, I meant to do this on the last one. Sorry, there's not much ASMR here. Oh yeah, beautiful. So there we go. Looks much better now. I bet that'll look way better on camera when we play with it more. So, anyways, all right. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours. It's kind of a quiet night. I think people aren't quite used to the schedule yet, and that's okay. And that's fine. But I'm gonna definitely promote the new clock a little bit more aggressively and let people know about it. Just kind of funky patterns there on the facts. Like it's skipping by a distinct amount each time. I can't figure out why. So I'm gonna have to mess with that. So, anyways, we're at the top 2 hours. It's quiet, it's chill, and unfortunately, I had a hell of a work day, and I didn't really have an actual DIY project to kind of show and tell or whatever. But I think Thursday should have plenty of bandwidth to start to play with the rotators and the motors and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it and thank everybody for coming out tonight and hanging out. So let everybody know Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We'll do 7 p.m. I think. I'd love to try to start a little bit earlier during the week, but I got to give myself a couple hours after work because sometimes work does run a little bit long. So I think we're gonna stick with 7 p.m. And yeah, so we'll be back in 2 nights. We're gonna have some more radios hooked up so we can listen to things. So if there is atmospheric static bomb out, we're not stuck listening to all the old grandpas. We'll try to tune in on some local nets and stuff like that, and have a little bit more fun. So thanks for joining me on this chill session of the Mattyzcast. Don't click on those QR codes that are about to pop up in a minute. Turns out that I was a dumbass and I signed up for some they try to be like a dynamic. Basically, they hold all of your QR codes hostage through a redirect. I didn't realize it, and then after 30 days, they ask you to pay to keep those alive. Considering that there's just a spec for encoding URLs into QR codes, it's a super shitty thing for them to do. So yeah, I'm pulling the QR codes down for all that stuff, and I'm gonna add new kind of barcodes and all that for everything. Those will be up on the next session. But yeah, found that out because they sent me an email and saying, you got to pay me like $2 a month. Yeah, I absolutely will put my Twitter account up. That's a good call. Yeah, I'll add a pad with my or a little section with my other communications methods and ways you can get a hold of me and stuff. But yeah, tweet at me anytime. I'll put it up on the page here in about 3 or 4 minutes. So yeah, hit me up at any time for sure. And yeah, dang, we got 2 people in the past couple minutes too. Sorry guys, we're gonna wrap it up and shut down. But catch up with us in 2 nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Thursday. That's 0200 on Friday, UTC. If you don't know UTC, learn how to convert your local time into it. And then we're going to see you in 2 nights. We're going to spin some motors, push some buttons, and flip some relays and switches. So definitely join us then. Make sure to follow if you haven't. Thank you to everybody that has, and spread the word. And we're going to play a lot more electronics next time and hopefully have a little bit better luck on the radio. Um, yeah, and watch a bunch of pixels die. So we'll let the game of life bring us out here for a little bit. I did a little fade out at the very end there. It's like, that's all for you. I like how the camera refocuses. This thing does not know how to do with like actually deal with a face full of LEDs. So there we go. That'll be enough for the night. Thanks everybody. Matty Zed with the Mattyzcast signing off. We will see you in 46 hours. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.